Hi, welcome to today's practice. As you can see, I decided to practice outside today for you. And I did that because I think it's really important for us to remember how much nature has to offer us. And it really makes me think of Miss Betty's camp and all the time we get to spend outside while we're there, being in nature, and how much nature provides us when we're at camp. But before we get into more about the importance of nature and what it gives us, let's just do some gentle movement to help get us ready for class and clear our minds. So we're going to start by laying down on our back. So you just lay down on your back with your legs long and your arms down by your side. And just really simple movements here. We're going to point our toes and flex our toes, and then point them and flex them, and point them and flex them. Good. And then we're going to let our pinky toes come out to the side, and then bring our big toes in toward each other. And then our pinky toes come out to the side, and our big toes come in toward each other. Pinky toes down toward the mat, big toes toward each other. And one more time, pinky toes down toward the mat, and big toes toward each other. From here, let's bend our knees and put our feet on the mat. We're going to bring our right knee in toward our chest, put our hands on our legs, and really hug our knee in toward our body. Then we'll reach that leg up toward the sky and lower that leg all the way down to the mat. We'll do that one more time. Bring our knee in toward our chest, hug that knee in, and then reach that leg up to the sky and let the leg come all the way down. Go ahead and rebend that knee and put your foot down. And then bring your other knee in toward your chest, hands on the leg. And then reach that leg up toward the sky, lower the leg down to the mat. Bring the knee into the chest, hug that knee in with the hands. Reach that foot up toward the sky, and then let the leg come all the way down. Wonderful. Rebend the left knee so both feet are on the mat. This time, pull both knees in toward your chest. Wrap your arms around your legs and just gently rock side to side. Beautiful. Let's place those feet back down on the mat. We'll take our arms down by our sides, and we're just going to roll our wrists in one direction. And then roll the wrists in the other direction. So nice circles. And then let your wrists be still. Rest the arms down and take a big breath in and reach the arms up overhead, and they can find the ground behind you. And then let the arms come back down by the side. And then a big breath in reaches the arms up and overhead. Find the ground behind you. And then let those arms come down by the side. We'll do it one more time. Big breath in, rises the arms up and overhead. And then let those arms come down by your side. Awesome. So you can let your legs be long on your mat. Your arms rest down, and you just feel really relaxed here. And we'll gently take our head in a really slow no motion. So keep the head on the mat, and then just bring the right ear down toward the mat. And then roll on the back of the head so that the left ear comes down toward the mat. Roll on the back of the head for the right ear to come down. And then roll on the back of the head for the left ear to come down. We'll take it to each side one more time. Rolling on the back of the head, the right ear comes down toward the mat. And then roll on the back of the head, the left ear comes down toward the mat. And then come back to center. Pull both your legs in toward your body. Put your hands on the back of your legs and start to rock up and back like you're a rocking chair. And then rock all the way up to your seat. Nice work. So we've gotten ourselves a little bit of extra energy out. We've kind of grounded or centered ourselves to be able to focus a little bit better for our practice. So like I said, nature gives us so many things. And we really get to see this when we get to be at camp. And even though we're not there, we can still think about how awesome it is to be outside in nature. So one example is the creek that's there that you get to play in, or on really hot days, maybe you go in there and just cool off a little bit. Another is this idea of all the trees and what they give us. So some examples are the tree swing that you can swing in. You might be able to climb some trees, whether at Miss Betty's or maybe in your own yard if you have trees in your yard. The other thing they do is give us wonderful shade to sit under on those really sunny days, and they help clean the air that we breathe. Lastly, there's the clay that we use in the pottery barn, and that all comes from the ground and deep within the earth. So we get so many wonderful things from nature that bring us joy and help us feel good, not only at camp, but also at home. So I think it's really important for us to take some time to be thankful to nature for all of the awesome things it gives us. So we're going to start by closing our eyes and checking in with ourselves. One hand on the heart, one hand on the belly. And just take that moment to check in. Just notice how you're feeling in your mind, in your body, and in your breath. Remember, there's not a right or wrong way to feel right now. It's just being aware of how you're feeling. And I want you to bring to mind something from nature that makes you happy or brings you joy. So it could be something as simple as the flavor of a sweet orange for snack. Whatever it is, just take a moment to think about that and think about how it makes you feel. And then either silently in the mind or out loud, whatever you prefer, start to thank nature by saying, "Thank you, nature, for keeping me happy. Thank you, nature, for keeping me healthy. Thank you, nature, for keeping me safe. Thank you, nature, for everything you give." taking a moment to just check back in, remembering there's not a right or wrong way to feel right now. Our check-ins are simply so we can notice what's going on in our minds, our bodies, and our breath. Let's gently open our eyes, rest our hands down by our side. So since we're spending some time focusing on nature and how it provides us so many wonderful things, I thought it would be really fun for us to do yoga poses today that all represent things in nature. So we're going to get started with our butterfly pose. So butterfly pose, you bring the soles of your feet together and let your knees open wide, just like a butterfly. You can hold on to your legs, and we're going to start to breathe and move our legs like they're the wings of the butterfly. So as we breathe in, we can bring our wings or our legs up. And as we breathe out, we can relax them down. So breathe in, lift the legs. Breathe out, let them come down. Breathe in, legs up. Breathe out, legs down. 2 more times. Breathe in, legs up. Breathe out, legs down. Last one. Breathe in, legs up. And breathe out, legs down. Beautiful. So let's just fold over those butterfly legs, walking the hands forward. And then you can rest your head down toward the feet and take 3 big, deep breaths here. One more big breath in and out. And then walk those hands back in toward your body. Take the hands to the knees. Bring the knees together. And then we're going to come on to our hands and knees for a tabletop. And we're just going to be in our tabletop to take some cow and cat poses. So spread your fingers wide. Let your knees come hip distance. We're going to breathe in. Let the belly come down toward the floor. Gaze forward for cow pose. And then breathe out. Press the back up toward the sky for cat pose. So it's like that angry Halloween cat. Breathe in. Let the belly come down. Gaze forward. Breathe out. Round your back. Press it up to the sky. Look to your legs for the cat pose. Breathe in for cow pose. Belly down. Look forward. Breathe out for cat pose. Back up. Look at the legs. Last one. Breathe in, cow pose. And breathe out for cat pose. Good. We're going to take a pose like a rock. So we're going to bring our feet together, sink our hips back, and then wrap our arms down by our sides and rest our head down on the mat. And just find some stillness, just like a rock sitting in the garden or along the creek. Still, connected to the ground, and strong. One more breath. Good. Bring your hands back under your shoulders. Lift yourself up. And then walk your hands forward all the way so you can lay down on your belly. So you can bring your forehead down to the mat. And we're going to take our arms out wide onto our fingertips. And we're going to move with our breath again. So So we're going to breathe in and lift up our head and chest for cobra pose. So like when the snake rises up out of the basket. And then exhale, lower down. Breathe in, lift up like the snake. And then breathe out and lower. 3 more. Breathe in and lift up. Breathe out and lower. Breathe in, lift up the head and chest. Breathe out and lower. Last one. Breathe in, lift up the head and chest. And breathe out and lower down. Good. Bring your hands under your shoulders. Tuck your toes under. Press up onto your knees. And then lift up your hips for downward facing dog. So if any of you have a dog, you can think about when your dog does their stretch and they reach their hips back and their back is really long and their front paws are stretching forward. That's exactly what we're doing here. So take a couple deep breaths here. Taking one more big breath here in downward facing dog. And then look up at your hands and walk your feet to your hands. From here, hang heavy and slowly roll all the way up to stand. So we'll find our mountain pose. So in mountain pose, we're standing strong through our feet, like nothing could knock us down, like a large mountain. Our arms face forward, our arms are strong, and our head reaches up to the sky like the very tip of the mountain. And then we'll take some waterfall poses here. So we breathe in and reach our arms up to the sky. And then just like the waterfall, the arms come down the mountain. And then we come back up to stand. Reach the arms up. The arms come down like a waterfall. And then roll up to stand. We'll do that one more time. Reach the arms up. Hands come down toward the feet like a waterfall. And then roll all the way up to stand. And come back to mountain. From here, we're going to take a frog pose. So you're going to step your feet a little bit apart and turn your toes a little bit away from your body. Bend your knees and bring your hands down to the ground. So we pretty much look like a frog from here. And imagining that we could hop, but we're going to keep our feet down on the ground. We're going to breathe in and lift up our bottom, straighten our legs a little, and then breathe out and let the bottom sink back down like we're hopping. Breathe in, lift up. Breathe out, sink down. Breathe in, lift up. Breathe out, sink down. One more. Breathe in, lift up. And breathe out, sink down. Take a little twist here in frog. The left hand stays down and we take our right arm up to the sky. 3 big breaths. And then bring that right hand back down. We'll twist the other direction, left arm to the sky. 3 deep breaths. And let the left arm come down, and we'll come back up to stand. Next, we're going to do a series of poses that's called a sun salutation. So when we do all these poses in a row, it's designed to salute the sun or thank the sun for what it gives us, the warmth, the light. So we start with that in our mountain pose. Our arms down by our sides, again, standing strong with the feet on the ground. We breathe in and reach the arms up to the sky, and as we breathe out, we take that waterfall forward. This time we breathe in and we bring our hands up to our shins and look straight down at the floor. And then we breathe out, bring our hands back onto the mat, and step one foot and then the other foot back and bring our knees down. Then our belly comes down to the floor. And then we take our cobra pose, lifting our head and chest. Then the head and chest come back down, hands under the shoulders, tuck the toes, and take your downward facing dog. Take 2 big breaths here. And then look up at your hands and walk your feet into your hands. We're going to stand all the way up, reach the arms up, and then bring the arms down by the sides. So that was one sun salutation. Again, saluting and thanking the sun. So let's do it again and see if we can breathe with it. So find your mountain pose nice and strong. Take a big breath in, reach the arms up. As you breathe out, take your waterfall, folding forward. Take a deep breath in, hands to your shins. Breathe out to put your hands on the mat and step your feet back. Breathe in and put your knees down. Breathe out to lower down to your belly. Breathe in to lift your head and chest for cobra. Breathe out, bring your head and chest down, and then press to your downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in and out. And do that one more time. Good. Look at your hands and walk those feet in toward your hands. Come all the way back up to stand. Reach the arms up. And then the arms come down. We'll do that one more time. Breath and body together. Find mountain pose. Breathe in, rise the arms. Breathe out for waterfall. Breathe in, lift halfway. Breathe out and bring your hands to the mat and step your feet back. Breathe in, bring your knees down. Breathe out, bring your belly down. Breathe in, lift up for your cobra. Breathe out, come back to downward facing dog. And take a few deep breaths. Good job. Look at your hands and walk your feet to your hands. Rise up to stand and reach the arms up. And then let the arms come down. Awesome work. So you might notice that you feel a little bit warm from your sun salutations too. And that's the idea, that you find the warmth from the sun. Next, we're going to take what's called windmill. So I don't know if you've ever seen those big windmills that blow in the wind to get us our energy. So we're going to move like that. So the feet come really wide. We'll start with our hands on our hips. Take a big breath in, get nice and tall, and then breathe out and fold forward. So let your head reach down to the floor and then bring your hands down to the ground. We're going to keep our left hand down. Take a big breath in, and then breathe out. Reach the right arm to the sky, and then reach the right hand down, And then reach the left arm to the sky. And then let the arm come down. Reach the right arm to the sky. Let the arm come down. Reach the left arm to the sky. Let the arm come down. So just like the windmill spins side to side or around. Last arm up. Let it come down. And then we'll come all the way up to stand. Step our feet together and do a tree pose. We're going to start by standing on our right leg, and then we bring our left toes onto the floor and turn our knee out to the side. So you can stay just like this, or you can bring your foot onto your leg and balance. Stay here or let your branches grow up toward the sky. And remember, all trees sway in the wind, so if you move side to side, it's fine. One more big breath in and out. And then let your arms and foot come down. We'll take tree on the other side. So you're standing on your left foot onto the right toes. Turn the knee out. You can keep your toes on the floor, or you can bring your foot onto your leg. And then again, you have the option to raise your branches, just like the tree grows up toward the sun. And keep in mind that all trees sway, so moving a little bit here is totally awesome. 2 more breaths. Last one. And then bring the arms and the leg down. Coming back to mountain pose one last time. Finding that strong pose. Breathe in, reach your arms to the sky. Breathe out, flow like the waterfall. This time the hands come all the way down and we step back to downward dog. Really getting a nice stretch here in the back. And then bring the knees down to the mat. Lift up your chest so you're standing on your knees and you can keep your toes tucked. So your knees are a little bit apart. You're going to bring your hands onto your hips but have your thumbs face forward. We're going to take what's called camel pose. So you're going to squeeze your elbows together. Press forward through your torso and then look up to the sky. This makes me think of a camel getting ready to spit. So they cock their heads back and then they spit. We won't spit, but that's what it makes me think of. So 2 more breaths. And then come back up. Untuck your toes. Bring your knees together. We'll come back for that rock. Sitting on the feet, come forward. Head finds the floor. Arms down by the side. See if you can take some deep breaths all the way down into your belly in this pose. So as you breathe in, you'll feel your belly press against your legs. Let's try one more just like that. Next, we're going to take a pose called rabbit pose. So you can hold on to your heels or your ankles, whichever one you can get to. Your head's going to stay down on the floor. And just like when the bunny hops, you're going to lift up and you come on to the center of your head. And then you can sink your hips back down. And then lift up. So you come onto the top of your head. Hold on to those feet. And sink back down. 2 more with breath this time. Breathe in, lift the hips. Breathe out, sink back down like the bunny hopping or the rabbit hopping. Breathe in, lift the hips. And breathe out, sink back down. 1 more breath in rock pose. And then lift up your head. And we're going to come to lay on our back. So just make your way down. And before settling into our final relaxation, we'll just unwind our back a little, taking our arms wide, our feet as wide as our mat, and just let the knees go side to side. And then let your legs come back to center and lay your legs long on the mat. And let your arms come down by your side. And you can do one final check-in, noticing how you're feeling, your mind, your body, your breath. And then just let your mind settle on any of the sounds that are around you. So maybe you might hear some nature sounds from the video, or if you went outside. Or maybe you'll just hear some sounds that are around your house. Whatever the sounds are, just allow yourself to sit quietly for a moment and listen to what's around you. And slowly bring your attention back to yourself. Just noticing yourself on your mat, noticing your breath coming in and out of your body. And then take a moment to thank nature once again for all it gives us. Silently or out loud saying, Thank you, nature, for keeping me happy. Thank you, nature, for keeping me healthy. Thank you, nature, for keeping me safe. And thank you, nature, for all that you give me. Begin to wiggling your fingers and your toes. And slowly bend your knees and roll onto your side. You can slowly press yourself up and come onto your mat in a seat. Close the eyes, bring the hands together at your heart. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today and honoring all of the awesomeness that nature and Miss Betty's camp gives us. One thing to remember is that you can always go outside and sit down under a tree and close your eyes and listen to the sounds of nature. And it's so relaxing and it helps you connect and be thankful for all that it gives you. Have a good day.